Hey everybody, today we're going to be looking at what would be the middle of June's auctions. The hours you see here are going to be in Central Time, starting off with one that's a lot earlier than I normally do, and that would be this Cypress Stranger Het Candy or Het Albino male. Now, again, I always say it, I like my visuals to be in the males because they're always going to pass it on when you breed it to multiple females. But Stranger is such a cool gene, and the price is becoming far more reasonable to get into. They're no longer $2,500 for just Stranger. So, I mean, they still end pretty high, even on auctions, and if you just buy one outright, obviously it's a bit more, but there's a lot of them. If you want to get Stranger, look at Morphmarket. There's lots of Strangers every week, and they're such a cool gene. It really shows you how that no matter how cool they are, dominance and co-dominance are destined to become far more available, because when you breed it to one animal, you get a 50% chance of that always passing on. So now that we're done with that side tangent, though, let's actually talk about the animals themselves that we're seeing before us. And this one's really cool. The Cypress, I think, really complements Stranger here very, very well. I love what Cypress does. What I am really curious to see is how the Het Candy or Het Albino work with this. And we have a bit of a hint because a lavender albino Stranger has been made, and they look really cool. You mix Cypress on top of that, I think you're going to be messing with some pretty cool stuff here. And the animal itself is already just really, really cool. And again, you're guaranteed to get one of these two genes in there. And the cool thing about this is you might think, well, how would I know which one? Because it's either a Het Albino or a Het Candy. That's actually an allelic combo. So this came from a Candino is what it tells me, because it had to have passed one of those genes down. And that's really cool, because get a female with Candy or Het Candy in it, you're guaranteed when you breed this animal to it to get Candies or Candinos. If you get a female with Albino in it, you're guaranteed to get Albinos or Candinos when you hit the visual combo, of course. Otherwise, they're going to either be hets or 66% hets, depending on if you went with a visual female or a het yourself. So they're not that much either, honestly, so go with the visual. And really what you're looking to get is Stranger and Cypress into these combos, and that's the goal, and those are going to pass. You don't need another female with Stranger or Cypress, although that would be pretty cool, right? Moving on would be this combo, which is one male, two females, to make super chocolate clowns. The male is a pastel chocolate clown, about 300 grams, so he's getting there. The females, one is a pastel chocolate het clown, and the other one is a pastel spot nose het clown. So she doesn't have any chocolate in her. The big thing here is that with that first female, you can get super chocolate clowns, and the male, he's a visual. That's important. I just got done saying that, so he's always going to pass that chocolate down. The only thing I'd rather not hit, honestly, is that pastel, and everything has pastel in it here. So you might even hit a super pastel. And I'm not trying to hate on pastel, I think I'd rather see it with just the chocolate. But again, that just comes along with the package here, because the price is very favorable, 200 bucks right now. This will be ending very soon after this video comes out. This video comes out at 11, so when you're watching this at the very beginning, you don't have much time. There is a reserve price on this though. That's the only thing. We don't know what the reserve price is, but if that reserve price is beat, this could potentially be a very cool combo, because super chocolate clowns are so cool. As you can see right here, this is nuts. You can probably see why I'd rather not have the pastel hit in here, but you could still hit it. So if you think about it from the genetically powerful standpoint, it doesn't really matter if you hit the pastel or even the super pastel, which is a possibility. If you hit this, even with the pastel, you've got those genetics there for you to pass on, and always pass on one copy of the clown gene and one copy of the chocolate gene. So you can always breed it out later, and maybe you get lucky and you don't hit it, or you just hit one copy of the pastel. That probably wouldn't be so much more lighter. I like this. I would probably think I would not want to see it with pastel, although I'm not sure if one has been made. Probably. I probably would prefer just this bad boy. Let's not forget the last one. Even though it does not have the chocolate gene we wish we had, you can still make those chocolate clowns, and those are pretty cool too. Definitely a cool combo here that you can get, and like I said, the biggest thing here, that visual male being a part of the package, is pretty important in my opinion, that it's in the male, not in the female. Next, I wanted to show off this Confusion Orange Dream Lemonblast het clown. And Lemonblast, by the way, if you didn't know, that is a pinstripe and pastel combination nickname, and very well named, if I may say so myself. One of my favorite simple combos. They just look so cool, and I love the pinstripe gene. If you don't like pinstripe, then so be it, but don't in the same breath tell me that you love Monsoon, because they kind of pattern very similar. Look at a Monsoon, compare it to this. Yeah, Monsoon's way more nutty, but this still kind of has this similar look. Until Monsoon came along, nothing really did quite like this does. So anyways, back to the animal at hand itself. The reason I wanted to pick this was because of the head clown and the confusion. Confusion clowns are insane. They're so cool. They're one of the only morphs that I see that have a really cool orange belly pattern. It's just about as wild in what it does as, say, Leopard. In fact, I probably like it a little bit better in most things. But if you just kind of look here at some of these confusion clowns, especially the belly, like I said, nothing really does that. It's just a new look at what you can do with some of these animals. They all seem to have it to some differing varying degrees, but it's wild to me, their bellies and their patterns. It's definitely a gene I covet and would like to get into if I can find the right combo, but it most certainly involves a clown. I can almost guarantee you that. Look at this wild belly pattern right here. Nothing really does that quite like this does. So that's where I'm seeing. I'm not seeing this as much as I'm seeing confusion and clown, and that's what I'm thinking. And I think the pinstripe might suit it pretty well too, honestly. Orange Dream, certainly, that would definitely suit it very well too in this combo. Again, you like to see that with a male. Again, you like to see it in your males, in a visual, but this would not be this price if that's the case. I'm a little tempted on this one myself, just because of that confusion gene, and I could throw it to a single gene clown and just hope to miss the pastel, honestly, and get that confusion orange dream. I wouldn't want the whole thing to have pinstripe, but I definitely would want some of them because I'd like to see that. But that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing beyond this animal, and I'm seeing what I just showed you, because those are so cool. And for the price you're looking at, already very well started, and from a great breeder. Oh, the shipping's free. That's another boost right there. I didn't even look at that. I should probably start looking at this when I'm talking about these to you guys, but the shipping being free is a big deal in my opinion. This is a steal. There's not much time left when this video comes out. Not much time at all. Moving on to a pretty heavy hitter. No reserve on this from Will Banks. A Leopard Grail. And a Grail is a clown and a lavender albino, and it's a female too. This will go up a little more here near the end, I think. Another one that's not gonna have a lot of time. We've got a lot of front-loaded ones this time. For that, I apologize, but I don't make what happens. If this is what you're thinking that you want to do, combos and whatnot, don't miss on this opportunity, because Leopard is a wonderful, wonderful staple gene to get as a ride-along here. It is so cool. You're not just getting the lavender albino, you're getting that Leopard right off the bat. Think about it this way. What if you were to get a spot nose that was also, wow, well then, as I'm watching, the price just went up. Someone really wants this. This is not going to be a cheap win, needless to say. But either way, it doesn't change the fact that this is still a game changer for the right kind of person. If this is what you want, it will not be cheap, but it will probably be considerably cheaper than buying it outright. So give it some thought. If this is right for you, pull the trigger on that, because again, no reserve. This one caught my attention a lot. First off, there is a reserve, but a Suma Pied, man, I love Suma Pieds. There was a time where maybe I didn't really think I cared too much for them. I didn't hate them or anything like that, but I thought that the browns that came in took away from it. But I have since changed my mind. I love the fact that the browns come in. This one has a good amount of pattern, and it's actually pretty dark, mostly black. But the browns, I've seen certain ones where it looks like two planets, like a dark planet and like a brown planet, like colliding. I don't know how else to explain it. Maybe we can find that footage that we had and show it here, but it's such a cool animal. I love the Suma Pieds. I love it more than the Panda Pieds. It's not quite a pure jet black, but to me that's still important, because I'm still getting that crazy contrast. I'm still getting a very dark black, but now I'm also getting these nice browns, these beautiful browns coming in. So again, something if you want to, this could be worth it for you if you can meet that reserve price. But if you can't meet reserve price on that, guess what? Why not make your own? Because the ingredients to make your own are right here as well. A female for 300 bucks, and this will be ending up just under a day after this video comes out. And then you've got your male here at 100 bucks. So these are the ingredients you need to make the super mahogany pied. I mean, you're getting all pieds here. That's the cool thing. This combo right here, you buy both of these, you will never not get a pied. That's the minimum you're getting. And you have a very high chance of getting a mahogany pied again, recreating what you're seeing right before you, which is beautiful in its own right. I love the oranges and crisp oranges and darkness that it brings to it. But of course, you have a very good chance when you buy those two and breed them together of hitting the Suma Pied yourself. And before you ask, there are no issues with the Suma Pied. no kinking like you get in the Panda Pied. It's a far superior option in my opinion. Not that I'm trying to dog on the Panda Pied. I love the Panda Pieds. They're very cool, but that is a bit of a concern with some kinking. It's not a majority of them that do it, but it is a more likely chance. Anytime you breed, you could get kinks, but this is just normal chances of that sort of stuff happening, which are not high. You want to make your own? Here's your ingredients. Price is increasing as we're watching on these. So this was $100 when I first started looking at it, but jumped up while I was on the Suma Pied to $45. Heck, you know, something that'll command my attention. Now, the thing with this one is the male actually has quite a considerable amount more time, about another day than the female does. Same breeder though. So what you could do if you win this animal here, you should probably go all in on this because it's not going to go for as much. You win this, I can't speak for them, but I'm sure they probably would combine the two of them, and therefore you're only paying one shipping. Always a good idea to try to do that, and you know, you just let them know, hey, I'm also in on this. I'll pay you the money now, but I'm also in on your other animal, so I'd like to hold off until that happens. So, and I'm sure they're not going to care because they want to sell one animal, and trust me, they would like to sell it, you know, just ship it to one place. At least in my case, that's what I'd want. Moving on, we have this beautiful Enchi Desert Ghost Het Clown female. This is a very low bid with only 20 hours left from a very respectable breeder. $100 if you're looking into getting to Desert Ghost, and this is halfway there. It's almost 800 gram snake. If you want to do the DG clown route, this is a great way to do it because you're already getting an animal with a lot of food in it. It's got 10 bids. This is going to go up, but I think that you can still get a decent deal here. Again, you just find yourself a male, and if you want to keep it on the cheaper route, make it a visual clown with the Het Desert Ghost, and get some other cool genes in there too, which I kind of mix in there. Let's face it, you're probably gonna have to do that because if you have the visual, you buy the visual, both of them, you're probably already making something like that. Either way, this is a pretty good deal if you're into this sort of project. Also from Hulker's Herps is one of the cooler pieds out there, and that would be the Axanthic Pied, the VPI line, by the way. Otherwise, I think they're nicknamed the Lightning Pieds. Very cool contrasts and such like that. A lot of stuff you can do from here, and a female at that too. So even if you're kind of just thinking that, like, you know, hey, I just want a pied, again, the price is very favorable right now. You know, if you're into both projects, just like I said before, maybe you buy both of them and have them shipped for a much cheaper price. But either way, this is a cool opportunity. Even if you just want the Pied or the Axanthic, you can have that other gene along for the ride and start working on some double recessives, or maybe more. Maybe you breed a clown into this, or Desert Ghost into this. That'd be pretty sweet, because those are the ones that make me kind of want those genes. I do not work Desert Ghost, nor do I work Axanthic, but when I see Axanthic Desert Ghosts, those are cool. Those make me kind of want to work it. This would be a cool way to, you know, start that sort of stuff. Create yourself some triple hets or something. Very cool. And again, not quite as big as the other Grail that he had up here, but still 350 grams or so, which means that it's been getting some food to itself and growing. Very important to note if you're into this project. Definitely don't sleep on this. 9 bids on this one, so there's some interest. All these go up obviously, but no reserve, meaning that this is going to sell. All right, moving on. If you are wanting to get into a really cool project, but you are a little strapped for cash, well, you roll the dice and you go with double hets. Not the ideal solution, but sometimes it's the only solution for certain people. And on that, here's this double het Sunset Pied boy. Sunset Pieds are one of the cooler ones because it does lighten the sunset up and keeps that brownout at bay. A very cool combo. Some of the best animals with sunset that I've seen have been Sunset Pieds. Again, like I said, they keep them brighter, and that really helps the morph out quite considerably. A really good price here. Not a lot of time, but this is a good deal. Again, if you're strapped for cash, get yourself a double het female as well. Roll the dice. You're bound to hit something, right? And no matter what you hit, you're gonna hit some sunsets in there too. You're gonna hit some pieds. It'll be harder to hit the combo together, but it'll be possible. And then also maybe you raise up some of those. If you don't hit it, raise some of those up, because guess what, there's tests for Pied, and I'm almost positive there's tests for Sunset now. Yeah, there's tests for Sunset, and on that there's a sale on those right now. By the way, there's a sale on Morphmarket, and I believe that they lowered their prices even on Clutch for these shed tests. Maybe that sale won't be happening by the time your babies are happening or coming from this one here, but it is definitely a cool combo. You raise these up and you're gonna get some cool stuff. You hold back some of those babies, you're gonna have even better chances. Again, another one from Hulker's Herps here. It is a double het, but a Blackhead, and I love the Blackhead gene, but Blackhead, Enchi, Leopard, double het, DG clown. I think these are all the right genes, and that's why I like this one. Even though it's not any visuals on either parts of those, that would make the price quite considerably higher, and it might not be here if that's the case. So that's why some of these are here. You take some chances, you get some cool genes that come along with the ride, like Blackhead and Leopard. This is a cool looking animal just by itself, honestly. Really cool. Very sharp. You hit on clown on it, it's going to be really cool. You hit on desert ghost on this, it's going to be really cool. You hit on both, you're going to blow people's minds. Blackhead is where it's at. I love the Blackhead gene, and I think it's starting to creep up more. I don't see it at little local shows quite so much, but I see it at every major show, at every decently sized big show, and I feel like it's about to make its way to some of these more local shows because it's really cool. It's really sharp. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. It is a darkening gene in essence, but it's a lot more nuanced than that. It's one of those that works well when you're trying to create contrast, so that means lightning as well, honestly. Look at it in our girl here, in our lavender albino, and she is bright. She's beautiful. Her contrast is awesome. She's really stunning. You hit that Blackhead and some of this stuff. It's not just a darkening gene. It's one of those genes that is a utility gene. It can be put both ways and very well. On a darkening gene, Black Pastel Yellowbelly Clown, 50% head hypo male. You want to try to get that proven out right away. Send that test in while these are cheap. Buy this thing, send the test in. This is definitely Pompeii maker. You can see it right here. You can see the hints of it popping up. It's so cool in and of itself. A visual again at that with the clown. If you hit that hypo, then you might be knocking on the doorstep of something that I'm trying for, and that's basically the Pompeii hypo. I'm also trying for it with GHI, which is really cool. There's a lot of different things you can do with this, not just the Pompeii. It's cool in and of itself, like I said. Throw it to some other combos. I don't know, like maybe the Blackhead I just told you about. Very cool animal. Again, no reserve, worth a look. Act fast on anything you see here, because they aren't going to be there long. I really love the peaking whites on all these animals, just like with mine. It's so cool, and I like how it essentially wipes out the head pattern. It's just so unique and awesome. On very cool animals, I spoke about this one a couple videos ago, but Bongo. Bongo does not get enough attention, in my opinion, and I've got another one right after this that will show that off, but a Bongo Black Pastel Clown female. Favorable price, but a lot of bids, so people are starting to wake up maybe to this gene. There might be the most we've seen so far. I love what Bongo does for really everything. I mean, look at that head. Look at that head, it's like a citrus orange. It's so cool, but you get a lot of this stuff. I kind of like almost a GHI-ish type look, but just maybe a little more wild in terms of stuff, because look at this one. A Black Pastel Bongo Yellowbelly, just one extra gene in Yellowbelly. Also 50% hypo male, so another really cool, powerful male here. Yes, this one starts to dance and flirt with a little bit of washout, which I don't necessarily care for, but it's still very cool. It's not quite washed out. That's the important thing, so it's still very beautiful. It looks like it nearly got there. It's like right on the edge. Very, very cool. And a lot of potential. Look at that tail too, how starkly different it is near the back end of it. That's so cool. It just kind of brightens up, so you start to see that. You think, you know, what can you do to darken that up? Bring in some more contrast and whatnot. That's very, very cool. Got another pairing here from Ball Python Shed. Would be a 1-to-1 Pastel Enchi Asphalt Het Pied. The male is a Pastel Enchi Asphalt Het Pied, he's on the right, and the female is a Pastel Enchi Asphalt Yellowbelly. Okay, so that means it is either Asphalt or Yellowbelly. That is perfectly fine, because you're either creating a possible Mardi Gras, and that would be the highway with the Enchi and stuff like that. If you have a for sure Asphalt here, because he was from a proven Asphalt male, and the female was from Mardi Gras, which means it has to either be Asphalt or Yellowbelly, because it must pass one of those on. Because here's the thing, you're winning either way. And I honestly would prefer it to be Asphalt. Yes, you get the highways with the Yellowbelly, and you can make those Mardi Gras, but super Asphalts are awesome. I actually like them more. They're just so wild and vibrant. And if you create yourself a super Asphalt, those are powerful breeders, because they're always passing Asphalt on. And what's the one thing when you get a freeway or a highway or any of those genes, when you breed them, what's the one thing that kind of sucks? Well, if you don't hit another highway or freeway, you don't know if it's Asphalt or Yellowbelly, so you have to sell it as he is, an Asphalt / Yellowbelly, because you don't know, because they look so much alike. Now, yeah, you can send it in for genetic testing these days, but you really want to do that with all those animals, spending all that money? Why do that when you can get yourself a super Asphalt and guarantee that everything you breed to it, especially if you just get an ivory, is going to be a freeway? Pretty cool stuff right there. A very powerful animal, especially if it's Asphalt and you create yourself a super Asphalt. And then, again, you know what? I forgot about the hit pied. You get a chance to hit the pied on top of all that, 100%. That'd be wild. Cool pricing on this too, man. Some interest coming up here, but 85 bucks and close to a day left as of recording. If you want to get into the freeway project, I would definitely recommend this, because the worst you're going to get is super asphalt, and that's still going to help you in the freeway project. Got a really hot one here, and I may or may have not made that one 350 myself before this video started. Reserve price right off the bat, I do want to get that out of the way. But this would be the Striker project. Again, it's a 1-to-1. On the left hand side is the male Striker Corgo 66% head Hypo. On the right is the Striker Hypo. So it is a Hypo, visual Hypo. If that male can prove out, then that would be very neat. Pairing with a Corgo head Hypo to a Striker Fire head Hypo. So Fire might be lurking around in there too, but you know, very cool animals. And just to let you know what a Super Striker looks like, if you hit that, since both of these have Striker in them, that's a Super Striker. Yeah, they're cool. The Striker bears some significant similarities to the zebra. So if it's ever found out that they are the same gene, this price will go up. Don't sleep on this gene. Striker is very cool, just like zebra is incredibly cool. Not much that adds the pattern like this when you're looking down on the animal, and it looks so cool. To me, it's very important, and it's a very cool thing to do because its display potential is incredible. When you're looking down on an animal, usually the patterns are on the side, most of it anyway, on most bull pythons, but on these, it's on the top as well. It runs along the top, so when you're looking down on them, it's very striking. It calls your attention to them. There's no way this is just a Striker or a Super Striker, at least I don't think so. That might be the Striker Fire. Honestly, there's also head Hypo that he's talking about. Again, don't sleep on this. I'm going to be in on this. I don't know what the reserve price is going to be, so we'll see. Moving on is a Hypo Clown proven breeder male. I got a lot of good size to him. It looks like the only reason they're getting rid of him is because he's being replaced by one of his kids. So they probably made this with a bunch of combos and such in there. And obviously when you can pass that very quickly to your males and you create a Clown Hypo with a bunch of other stuff in it, that makes a big difference. And suddenly dad here isn't quite needed anymore, and he can go to another home. He's ready now. He's proven, and he's always going to pass one copy of Clown down and one copy of Hypo down. Cool opportunities. This one's got a little bit more time, 48 hours right now. 255 bucks though, so it could potentially go for a very good deal and could help you out a lot. Ending both on two Chimera here. Now we're finally getting some that are ending a little bit later here, but that would be this Hypo Pied 50% het clown. You got a potential here for some crazy stuff. Send that shed in if you get this female here. Very cheap right now. It's still a little early, so it's tough to say what this is actually going to end, but I love the Hypo Pieds. They're very creamy, very colorful. The Hypo does not take away from what Pied does to it. In fact, it adds to it and just accentuates it. And if you can get that clown proven in this, that would be so cool. Definitely a very favorable price. Something to pay attention to. Like I said, you got some time on this one if you're in on this project. And on that, we got another Pied here, also from Chimera, but a little bit of a different flavor. Visual Pied Super Banana. And I really do like the Super Bananas. I know some people don't, and I don't like it in everything, that's for sure, but I like them by themselves or in different combos. This one's really cool though. They're usually very light like this, very peachy color, almost like a pink. But with this, they've also got some of these like neon colors, this neon orange or yellow, whatever you want to say it. Almost looks like somebody put Sharpie on the picture, like somebody took a Photoshop of this picture and did that. You know what? I have a little fun here. Let's see how good I can get this. Okay, not quite as good, right? Yeah, this is a coloring channel now. Fuck. Don't worry about it, Johnny. You keep editing. I'll keep coloring. Yeah, but you get the point. It kind of looks like somebody did that with a, you know, more favorable color look to it. You know, let's try green. No, I don't like that one. No, pink? It is kind of pink, right? Oh, no, too strong. Way too strong. Blue. Let's go. You know, I could dig the blue. You can still kind of see it, you know. I don't like my coloring job, though. The yellows I did okay on. Moving on. Again, a good price. I think this one's going to end very well priced. Being a female, what you're guaranteed here is that you're always going to pass one copy of the piebald gene on, and you're always going to pass one copy of banana. So you're going to get a bunch of bananas. And that's always cool. They always sell very well. If you're just looking for something to make some cool pets to put on your table as well, these can do that. I think that's important too. I really do. Some people think that it's always about the project, and maybe it is for you, and that's okay. But I think that it's important to make some cool pets. It's what gets gets your name out there. It's what gets you started. You just start making Pompeys and stuff like that, and you come out of nowhere, people are going to be a little worried and wary. They should know who you are. Make a name for yourself for a little bit. And this is a good way to do that because banana pieds are cool, and this would be a good way to create those. Breed it to a male with some other genes in there. Create some Enchi banana pieds, simple stuff for decent prices, and have some stuff to fill your table to sell to people and make yourself a good name. And that's where we're going to end it today. Obviously, we always do a little bit of a drive-by here. Some of these on the first page obviously are going to be well expired, but I do like showing everybody everything quick because I go through this list, but I can't do the whole thing. I record this video and my brother edits this thing. Within 3 hours, I'm reviewing it, if not less. So I can't get everything. I have to be picky, so to speak. But this is a way to show you quickly everything, so you can say, well, you didn't mention this, but I love it. In fact, there's a Mahogany Pied I missed right there, and a Clown Mahogany Pastel. I'm not going to click on them, but they're also from Herps. Wait, no, that's not the one I missed. That is the one. He's on a different page. See what I'm saying? I get confused. You know what? Last minute one. This was added during me scrolling through, but I want to show off this super gravel. But it just goes to show you what you can do with stuff like this if you want to work some of these Yellowbelly complex projects. Female at that, 0 bids, 0 reserve, potential to always pass that gravel gene on, so you can guarantee what you're getting in what is normally a very subtle gene by itself, but does some nutty things when it's comboed with other genes, including genes in the Yellowbelly complex. So I wanted to end actually on that one because it's very cool, and it got uploaded pretty much as I was ending, and I don't have a lot of stuff near the 70-something hour mark, and they're ending on Saturdays and Sundays, so I'm adding one more. Hope you enjoyed. As always, if you win something, let us know about it. If you win something that we talked about, or maybe we didn't talk about, maybe we just buzzed by it, or it was another time, let us know in the comments. It's always cool to hear if you won something, especially if you were bidding on it, or when we kind of called it out. So hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this video, check out our egg cutting / morph review of the Monarch gene, where we talk about Monarch in depth and cut our own double het Monarch pied eggs.